All right, we're gonna get into the SmackDown portion of what happened this past week on SmackDown. What is it? April 24th, 2018. So we kicked things off, seeing as how the superstar shakeup, there was one superstar that was noticeably absent. Well, I mean, he was with his daughter and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
we kick off, and now since the Sammy and Kevin show has been replaced or has replaced Miz TV, Miz TV is now on SmackDown. It's
Yep.
a nice segment. I mean, like I think I kind of said this last week on the podcast, but wrestling shows when you add that talk show element to them, it's nice to have a talk show element. It is,
Yeah.
even if sometimes the talk show segment is kind of dumb, like Cafe de Rene. That was stupid as shit, but still, nobody gave a
Yeah.
fuck. Yeah, nobody
Yeah.
cared
You
about
gotta have the right person.
Carlitos Cabana was even better than Cafe de Rene, but that's beside the point.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that is the point.
It's exactly the point.
Right, that's kind of the point that I was even making in the first place. Okay, so what the fuck was that? Was that you? What the hell?
What?
Are you okay?
I'm
Should I
fine. What
fix
are you
those?
talking about? I'm
We
fine.
go
Keep
play the
going.
game. We'll play that game. All right, we're playing that game, everybody. anyway, anyway, anyway. So so the Miz does Miz TV, and he's supposed to have Daniel Bryan come out. But Big Cass comes out. Now, before we even get into the rest of what Big Cass said, Pete, I would love to hear your thoughts on the fact that it was Big Cass and not Daniel Bryan in the first place.
I don't really like the fact that they're doing the big casting in big cast versus Brian instead of Miz versus Brian, which is clearly what people want. They're like, nah, fuck that.
Everybody clearly wants that. And
Nah.
honestly, the way, because Miz, like I said, Miz is he's so captivating and good on the mic. Not even counting him in the ring, he's so good on the mic that he knew by the way he was talking, he was building up the whole anticipation of everybody wants to see me versus
Mm-hmm.
Brian. Like the way he was talking, he was building that up, and
Yeah.
then here comes Big Cass. I like Big Cass's intro music. I will say that much. It was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the reason why I wanted your thoughts on Big Cass initially coming out is because everything that you said what Big Cass said when he came out, everything that you said about Big Cass's whole angle now being I'm big for big sake is
Yeah.
apparently exactly what they're fucking doing.
That is
That
totally
is
his character. He is just
that
big. That is it.
is exactly what they're doing.
I'm
He was like,
7 foot tall, and you
I
can't
remember when I
teach
was
that.
little. You can't see that. I remember when I was little, before I had my growth spurt, and I used to get picked on. But now that I'm big, I pick on the little guy, and it was like, oh, okay, well, that's nice. Like,
Daniel Bryan
okay,
reminds me of when I was a kid. Who cares?
I will say this:
Hmm.
I liked as much as we, and I say we, I mean like us fans, as much as we talked about how Enzo was the main one to focus on the mic, and Big Cass had like no mic skills. I was surprised and like, oh, okay, Big Cass on the mic is not as bad as I thought. So
Oh
I'll say that.
no! Oh no! He's not bad. He just wasn't Enzo.
Yeah, no, it's like you put him next to Enzo.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
never
true.
really thought he was bad because after a while he started having more talking role, and even in their like tag team thing, he was less the Billy Gunn and more just the big cast. And I'm not
Well,
saying
it's
Billy Gunn has bad mic skills. I'm saying when it came to
true.
the New Age Outlaws,
Six and road stuff,
it was
right?
all Road Dog, and then if you're not down with that, there's
Well,
nothing against Billy Gunn. I met the guy, told him that I've got the fucking Ass Man song on my fucking Spotify playlist.
what do you say?
He laughed because I really like your song. And he laughed and appreciated it. He's like, it's a good song. Yeah, that's cool. But the second I said I have it on my like playlist, I can bring it up right now. He's like, you know what? I believe you. He just laughed.
That's what's up. What was I gonna say? No, but yeah, no, I agree as far as like his mic skills aren't bad, but he was just not right next to Enzo. It's like when we were talking about Lashley and Strowman. Bobby Lashley is not short by any means, but you put him next to Braun Strowman,
Yeah.
then yeah, so yeah, it's like that exactly.
It
It's
was
like,
funny having Big Cass talk about how tall he was and that he tried to do stuff against the Big Show. And I'm like, but the Big Show is actually 7 foot tall, and then add 2 inches, because Big Cass isn't even 7 feet tall. By the way,
well, yeah, I was listening to when I was heavily listening to the Steve Austin show, and Enzo and Cass were on there not that long after they had debuted on Raw, and he asked Cass, he said, "What's your shoot height?" And Cass said he's actually just 6'9", which it's not. 6'9" is not bad. 6'9" just doesn't roll off the
that's
tongue
like
as far as
3 inches shy
a
of
catchphrase.
7 feet.
It doesn't roll off the tongue as far
Yeah.
as like 7 feet
Oh, it
does, I
doesn't.
guess.
It doesn't. But
And he's 6'9".
some
That's
people wish they were like
terrible.
6'9". Then they could get with Leoshi, even though she don't know him. Leoshi's
Mm.
really fine.
Honestly, I didn't notice where you were going. I was about to fill in the blank on that, but you kept going. I was like, all right, okay, I give you that. Um, but yeah, basically, like I was like, okay, Big Cass, he got some nice skills. This ain't terrible, okay. But but the whole time I was thinking, like, damn, this is exactly what people were saying on the podcast last week. This is I'm tall for tall's sake, and I hate everybody who's shorter than me.
Yeah.
Therefore, I will squash Daniel Bryan because Daniel Bryan is short. Like, what the fuck?
It's like, oh, okay. You're so much more interesting opponent for Daniel Bryan than the guy that's been talking mad shit for the past 4 years or past 3 years. Yeah, I so care about this feud.
It's a shame because the way that they're pushing Big Cass, it's nice to see them pushing new talent. Big Cass got potential, all that stuff. But I just don't care about the way that they're doing it. That's all.
I think it was like a call of Daniel Bryan's though. Like he just wants to push the like younger talent.
Yeah,
Like he'll eventually get his hands on the Miz. We all know this, but he also wants to help younger talent get up and
like I said,
over.
Ryan said that he wants to feud with the younger talent to give them a push, but it's just the way they're doing it. They're making I sound like a broken record, but they're making Big Cass just be look how tall I am and you're short, therefore fuck you. And that's like really that's it. So,
Yeah.
we'll see where they go with this, but it's like really that's it because he's already coming off of being injured, but he's already coming off of teaming with Enzo, who had charisma and mic skills out the ass, and just like looking at Enzo, like I said, looking at Enzo compared to looking at Cass. Not that Cass is boring, but comparatively, Cass would look boring. So now he's got to shake this "I don't have mic skills, I'm boring" moniker, and now you give him something that one dimensional. It just kind of
Yeah, that doesn't help. It's
it
like
doesn't have.
every time they take the Big Show and decide, we feel like watering him down to the typical "I'm a giant."
Mm-hmm.
Every "I'm a giant" run of the Big Shows is always like, oh, we're back to this again. Okay.
I would the worst things about the Big Show, man, was I'm face, I'm heel, I'm face, I'm heel, I'm face, I'm heel. That's the worst thing about the Big Show shit.
But I
With
hate
like
it
no,
like half the time when he went heel. Like he has some heel things where there's actually a storyline and he had a character to him. But every once in a while he would just he would revert to heel and then go, "I'm a giant. You can't beat a giant. Who's gonna beat me? Is it Cena? Oh, Cena can't lift me. What do you mean he lifted me every previous feud we had? He can't lift me. I'm a giant. No one can lift me.
knockout punch.
Who's this Roman guy? He can't lift me. I'm a giant. Oh, you're scary, Braun Strowman, but I'm a giant." Like that's what I'm
Big
saying, and
Cass is
that's what Big
It's
Cass
a big
is
ass dude.
without actually being a giant. Because at least with Big Show, you're like, yeah, he is a giant. Like, yeah, he's getting repetitive with it, but he ain't wrong though.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with what's his name, Cass, continuing this feud.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, it's like it's not helping. It's like you already are perceived as boring by a lot of people, and then they're making it like, yeah, oh, some people are gonna be like, oh yeah, he is that just as boring.
Yeah,
Okay,
but we'll
but
see. His career is young.
the next thing, man, I gotta say, I was disappointed watching this next segment. Not counting the match, but well, the match too. The fucking I said after when the Iconics debuted on the SmackDown after WrestleMania, I was like, oh man, I'm actually kind of liking the Iconics. It was interesting to see where they go,
They're some of the most annoying bitches.
and not in a good way. Not in like you're annoying, but I can respect it because it's heel. This shit was just bad. Like, let me go, let me go. This was so bad.
Her
This was
like impersonations of people. Just
it was like I said, it'd be different if it was like it was annoying, but it was like heel annoying stuff, and it was like okay, I could at least respect that they're doing it. Like I said, no, it was annoying because it was terrible.
there's a little of both for me.
I
Like
mean,
technically they are just saying like heel stuff, but it's just they go a little too overboard with it, which I mean I guess works. If they want to be more annoying than anyone else, if they want to be what's the word, iconically annoying, they can be. Just like if I want to think icon, or if I want to think annoying and point to a dictionary, the icon for it will be the chick's name, Iconics. Let me tell you.
uh, puns out the ass. You gonna make the fucking like podcast explode with all the puns, bro.
Happens, dog.
But yeah, so the Iconics ended up stealing one from the team of Becky Lynch and Asuka after
Yeah, yeah. Asuka's debut match on SmackDown loses.
and your fucking head exploded. Your fucking head exploded. I mean, watching, like I said, I'm just getting back into wrestling after being off for some years. But listening to what you said and like watching everything that's unfolding after knowing how you feel about how they've been booking everything after the loss of the streak, it's just like everything has been. She lost the streak. Then what was it?
The chick
What was
that
it? She
beat her lost it that literally the next night.
Charlotte loses the title, right? Then they team up after she saves the day, and now she's teaming up with another face, Becky Lynch, and now they both end up losing this match. So this did,
Yeah,
I
she
mean,
has her actual first match on SmackDown and then loses it.
this match was obviously to help push the Iconics because the Iconics were talking shit beforehand, and then they end up stealing one in a very heel fashion because
They're
she had a
also
feud on.
trying to bury Asuka, which frustrates me.
Yeah, I hope not. Because I mean, you might be right, but I hope not. Because I like Oscar. I love Oscar's music, Oscar's entrance with the
Mm-hmm.
mask, all that shit, everything about it, and she's good in the ring and everything. She had while everybody says that Triple H and Stephanie versus Ronda and Kurt was match of the night, it was match of the night, but some of that was a lot of that was because of the show aspect, but a lot of people said that Charlotte Flair and Asuka had match of the night, just in the sense of straight wrestling.
And they probably did. I could
So
argue
no,
that that was true.
right, and you can argue that because right, exactly. So now for them to bury her, it's like, but in the ring, like come on.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, is it because of the language barrier? Because it can't be that because they pushing the fuck out of shit in the other end.
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
I hope not. But I mean, if
But
you
then
think about it,
again, it's the same thing that I talked about earlier. Whatever. Let them sound however they want to on the mic. If they just go, I'm going to kill you, and then they kill you, it's fine. NXT, she did her talking and just like, I'm the Empress and I'm gonna shit on everybody, and then she shat on everybody, and Triple H is like, please, please, there's not enough toilet paper in the world to clean up after this. You have to go to the main roster. You're just shitting on everybody.
WWE doesn't. Ibn brought up a good point a while ago. He said WWE doesn't really do managers anymore. And that's the thing is like you got a good amount of people who could benefit from mouthpieces, but the only mouthpiece right now in the WWE is Brock Lesnar has Paul Heyman.
Yep.
That's it.
They took Rusev's away even after he married her.
Yeah, and I mean you could say Aiden English is a partner slash
well, technically Aiden English is kind of mouthpiecey, but Rusev also doesn't really need a mouthpiece because he's Rusev. When he does open his mouth, his shit is funny.
You could make the claim that Titus is a partner slash mouthpiece for Apollo, I guess.
They're but that's just more like shoving them together because they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, and I mean Dana Brooke is like she should be the manager, but she doesn't do shit.
Shoved in there just as well. It's like, oh, we got nothing left for you. You're the statistician for Titus Worldwide. What does that mean? Figure it out.
Exactly. She should be the manager, but she doesn't do a fucking thing except stand next to them. So yeah, I don't know. I think WWE could benefit from some Paul Bearers and some Jimmy Harts, you know what I'm saying, and some Stacy Keeblers, you know, and some Terry Runnels, like mouthpiece type stuff, man. But or like manager type shit, you know what I'm saying? But whatever.
Oh
whatever.
no, there is one. Selena Vega, the chick with the Almas.
I wasn't sure about that because when they showed the pack, like I said, I don't know anything about a John Cena Almas, but when they showed their little package of him being on SmackDown and everything, she was wrestling. So I didn't know she was a mouthpiece.
They showed him doing the wrestling and say he's a third generation superstar. And he also has Selena Vega who will do anything to help him win. And the stuff they showed her doing was cheating to help him win.
Well,
which again, did you not go and watch the Aleister Black match with the thingy that I told you? Aleister Black and Almas from TakeOver?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, but at that, and she does all of the talk. Like, he only talks in Spanish from what I've seen. So she definitely is his mouthpiece.
I mean, what was it? Armando Alejandro Estrada. He was cool as shit for Umaga. That was great.
I forgot about Armando Alejandro Estrada. I forgot about that guy.
He was great, man. And of course,
Estrada.
We already talked about Abraham Washington and how he was getting Darren Young and Titus O'Neil over until he said some fucking dumb shit like an idiot. So, I mean, WWE needs mouthpieces, and if the problem with Asuka is the language barrier, give her a mouthpiece or something like.
Just let her go out there and beat people up. People still want to cheer for her. Look, the scariest people in the world don't sound intimidating at all. Mike Tyson, fucking terrifying. I'm not gonna fight a fucking Mike Tyson, but if you walked up to it, it's like, hey, I'm gonna break your face, I'm gonna kill you. You know that shit.
In his face, you'd be like, get your ass out of here.
Brock Lesnar doesn't sound scary. Yeah, Brock Lesnar doesn't sound scary. He's like, nah, I'm not a superstar. I'm an ass kicker. I am Brock Lesnar. I'm not here to be a superstar. I'm going to beat you up.
No offense to Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar, he sounds like a little boy. He sounds like a little boy when he talks. Yeah, like, he really does.
I'm going to leave you in a pool of blood, urine, vomit.
Oh, right. Okay. He kind of sounds like that. And he's like, says boy, but when he talks, yeah, but when
you look at that motherfucker, it's like, yeah, and then you see him in action, it's like, yeah, this is why you don't pick on the kids that sound weird. Another thing where it's like, yeah, you may get bullied when you're younger, but then you grow up and you beat the shit out of the bully, so who really cares?
Motherfucker walking around looking like Gunjack in this bitch. Like, fuck. All right. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, we're already. The match was The segment before was disappointing.
Yes.
I felt like a parent the way I talked about the Iconics. I felt like a parent with the whole "I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed."
Well,
But I mean, we're already like a segment and a match in,
yeah.
and we're already looking at two pushes that don't seem like they're going the way they should be. Like,
But also have plenty of time to develop.
they do, they really do, especially Cass, both of them. And Oscar, all they have to do is just stop booking her to save the people who whoop their ass and actually have her whoop some ass. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next match, we have the other Uso versus the other Bludgeon brother, Jimmy Uso, going up against Rowan. And backstage beforehand, they did some of the worst acting I've seen on wrestling in a while. I just gotta be honest. I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
It's like, hey man.
And the worst part is they actually are married.
Yeah. Hey man, we gotta go out there and we gotta have this, right? So you gonna have my back, right? And I was like, no, oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I
they're
like
actually brothers, and he and Naomi are actually married, but it sounded fake as shit.
It's like I love the three of y'all, but this is bad. This is bad. So yeah, but yeah, he basically said to Naomi, like, don't come out, let me do this. No, you know I'm gonna be out there. No. Well, let me do this. So then of course, during the match, what happens? Although the way she distracted him was weird as hell though. It was like a whole segment
But
of
she
like
came out and did her entrance, and then she just started shaking her ass a bunch. And they're like, huh.
did you did you notice right when she started shaking her ass, like right when she really started shaking her ass, the camera cut away?
Yeah.
It's like, this is PG. Oh shit. It's like, this is PG, Naomi. You can do that for the people in there, but not here. Right.
Yeah.
But it was just like, it was like right when they were like getting their ass whooped, all of a sudden lights go out and then feel the glow. That was weird as shit. Everything about that. We'll see what happens at the Greatest Royal Rumble and all that, but this was like, are you serious? So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Last week and this week was just, we got a tag team match, so we're just gonna do two people from the tag team fight, the other two people fight this week before we go home. It was a cool little match. Well, now what was funny as shit though, I do want to mention this. What was funny as shit was, even though the Usos said don't come out, when she came out, they capitalized hard as fuck on it.
Yeah.
Man, what was funny was when she came out there, I was like, the hell? Jay Uso from outside kicked the shit out of Luke Harper.
Yeah.
He said, ah! Kicked him dead. I don't care if nobody else found that funny. He kicked her in his mouth. I was like, damn. And then it was funny because it was like, even though they didn't want her to come out, then they walking up the ramp like it was a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Like, haha, we fool you. Who'd you fool? No one was in the locker room with you.
Right. It was like, what? And then, now this segment with Carmella, I loved every bit of this. Every bit of this from top to bottom.
Okay, I was about to say, I thought it was hilarious.
I'm liking Carmella, and please do not disappoint me. It comes time for like some in the ring shit, because all of these segments so far, I am loving them.
You know, I've not seen her wrestle once, with the exception of her winning the title, which was really just her kicking her and being done.
With the dumbest ref I've ever seen in my fucking life. I went back and rewatched that segment to see if the ref really did take that long and look that stupid. I went back and rewatched just that segment. The ref was so, ref, ring a bell, and she's like hitting the briefcase. The ring, ref, at the top of her lungs.
Sure? Are you sure? Are you sure you want to do it?
Money in the bank mean though? Like, explain to me money in the bank. Like, what is that? Like, dude, like, yeah, it was just, he looked just as dumb as I thought. But no, so she came out and like, when she said we go play the video, and they played it as fucking one-sided and bad as it is. But when she said nobody was on their feet we gonna play it again, and they start playing it again. I was
Oh,
are they really about to play this shit again? Or is that really what's gonna happen? Because I just knew Charlotte was gonna come out, but they really let them play this bitch again.
yeah, they played
And then
it
they
again, and then she's like, "You guys still aren't doing it, so we're gonna do it over and over and over again until you get it right." And then they started playing it again, and I'm like, "Oh my god, please
and
tell me
they,
it happens again."
they cut the Carmella like while they're playing the video for the second time, looking all happy, like, yeah, that's me. Look at that. Yeah, exactly. Right. And I'm like, wow. But then of course Charlie comes out. But I was like, bruh, how many times we gonna watch this video?
Until people actually stand up and give her a standing applause.
Because there's a part of me that doesn't care. Like, watch this a million times. This is so good. And then of course Charlotte comes out, and I liked how Charlotte came out, and I like the juxtaposition of Charlotte being very regal and queenly and whatnot, and then Carmella just like, yeah.
Yeah.
About it. I loved everything about this shit. And then Renee Young was like, Carmella, can you please sit down and be a professional? Carmella's like, where's my championship, my championship. Ha ha ha. It was funny as fuck. And then of course, what happens at every contract signing?
Yeah.
Somebody's got their ass kicked. Charlotte signs the thing, it woos in her face, and they whoops her ass and throws the table on top of her. So yeah. And then Renee Young gets out the ring like, well, I've done what I can do.
Another day, another contract signing. What else did you expect?
And then we come back from the commercial, and then of course they say, Corey's like, hey, everyone during the commercial, Carmella did sign the contract. No shit, she did, but she did sign the contract. Oh, and by the way, I want to mention, I thought it was funny since there was no Booker to check Corey tonight. Corey was in full heel commentator fashion because, like I said on Raw, after Booker checked the shit out of that dude, he was just calling the match very neutral, very one-sided. But no, tonight he was like, "What are you talking about, Byron? You don't do so on the blah blah blah."
Oh, Byron's everyone's whipping boy. That's just Byron. It's shut up, Byron. It's just a thing. That's just Byron's his role because he says a lot of stuff and they're like, "Shut up, Byron." JBL started that one. Just the shut up, Byron.
Who is Tom Phillips? What's his deal?
Some dude.
Okay.
He used to do backstage stuff, like kind of like a Michael Cole-ish. Hi, I'm Tom Phillips. I'm doing this.
Insert Michael Cole here is what I figured. Basically. Yeah. He's like he's B show Michael Cole, and not that he does a bad job, but that's pretty much. All right. So next match, it was kind of funny at the intro of this match. It was like Jeff Hardy came out to fight Shelton, and he was like, "Oh, you gonna troll me last week, bitch?"
Yeah.
Or it was like, "I'm gonna troll you." So then Jeff Hardy comes out, but then Orton came out, and then Jeff was even off to the side, like, "Oh, okay, well played, my friend, well played." The match itself is a nice, solid match. Cool for what it was. I did think that it was weird as shit towards the end that some masked man came in and fucking like attacked Orton or whatever.
Attacked like, Jeff Hardy. And the second I saw it, I'm like, that's gonna be the Singh dude. Absolutely. And then sure enough, it's Sunil Singh. Yep.
But it was just so random.
Yeah. It's a heel thing to do though. Send you a little minion. There's another minion. There's another minion mouthpiece.
Yes, true. No, you're right. Although this is the thing, so that's like a manager, and it's two of them. But Jinder Mahal doesn't really use them. They just introduce him, and that's it. Because he doesn't use them. Jinder Mahal does all his talking. So, he doesn't.
Yeah, but
they help.
But he is also the minion manager type, in the sense that he's not necessarily full on mouthpiece, but he is the intro. He's like the Aiden English to Rusev, where he comes out and introduces him, and has that whole ordeal, but also is a minion as opposed to just straight up mouthpiece.
He's like, what's his name? Ricardo Rodriguez, right? Was that his name?
Yeah, like Ricardo Rodriguez.
He's like him, yeah. Where he comes out.
Here's somebody that's the same race this guy is. It's gonna come out.
I hate to say that, but that's exactly what that is. That's exactly what that is. Holy shit. All right. So yeah. But I mean, so he got an RKO for his troubles, and Shelton Benjamin won using pay dirt. Although nobody in the audience reacted any kind of way to pay dirt because nobody remembers what the fuck pay dirt is.
I didn't know he
Because
had a finish.
Shelton Benjamin, right? Most people didn't know he had a finisher, and the finisher that he did have, he had for like a hot second when they were like pushing him in a different way, and he was the gold standard and like had blonde hair and shit. And him having this move, pay dirt, made sense. Pay dirt, gold standard. But at the time when he was the gold standard and had pay dirt, nobody really knew what the fuck pay dirt was. Now you strip him of that, and years later you try it again. Nobody know what the fuck this shit is. So,
yeah.
I'll say this, and I mean, Ibn can jump down my throat if he's listening for what it is. But Shelton Benjamin is somebody else who has kind of been in mid card hell for a while. He's been upper mid card, but yeah.
Part of that is he's mid card for life.
Part of that is because of the fact they keep giving Shelton the mic, and he sucks on the mic.
Yep.
So, Shelton would benefit from a mouthpiece because in the ring he's amazing.
But they mentioned something about Shelton during that match with Orton. Shelton, Orton, Cena, and I think Batista are all the same fucking developmental class.
Yeah, I was rewatching a little bit of John Cena being interviewed by Chris Jericho, and yeah, he was talking about how like they all came up in the same time. It's like it's kind of crazy to think about that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like
the only one that hasn't been champion is Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, and that's a whole different story for a different time, if you know what I'm getting at.
I am not even calling it on that. I'm just gonna focus on the fact that the mic skills just ain't there. The other ones at least have some sort of mic skills.
I'm not saying that that's the reason. Read between the lines, listeners, if you know what I'm getting at. I'm not saying that's the reason. I'm just saying that that is a coincidence. That's all.
I mean, we've had champions that are of Benjamin's ilk, so I don't think that's the reason.
Did you say ilk?
Yes.
Oh shit!
I mean, if we're dancing around the issue, we're gonna dance around the issue.
That's why you talking about being politically correct and shit. That's why I was laughing. All right, so the next match, unfortunately, during the next match, not that it was bad, but it was late, so I did doze off a little bit during this last match. And not because last week, like I said, I dozed off because the match put me to sleep. This time I dozed off for a second because I was just tired as fuck. I had just come off of doing the show and all that shit. So yeah. Anyway, so Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev Day. I thought they were calling them Rusev Day, but it's officially official that they are Rusev Day. Mm-hmm. Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev Day went up against AJ Styles and the Club, Gallows and Anderson. You will kind of have to fill in the gaps as far as if the match was decent or not. I know how it ended, but it was a good match, I guess?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was all right. I didn't have any problems with it.
Cool. And then, of course, the match ends with Shinsuke doing what Shinsuke does best. This dude has an obsession with... He does not want AJ Styles to have children. I don't get it.
Like any more children.
Yeah, right. He's like, get up a vasectomy.
Just punches him right in the balls. He has a vendetta against that man's balls.
And then, like you said, he holds his arm there.
Yeah. Look at it. Look at it.
Look what I have done.
Right in the dick.
They need to change his finisher from the Kinshasa to a low blow. Like I said, a low blow to AJ Styles specifically. He has an obsession with just AJ. How does that feel? Do you like that? But I mean, I'm liking heel Shinsuke.
Mm-hmm. He also changed his theme up and added like a rapping Japanese dude.
Yeah,
And they said
and then
storyline wise because he got tired of the fans singing along with it.
singing
So
along
he
with it.
just put the Japanese. They're like, fine. And I can see someone doing that, like, fine. They keep going, oh, fine. Sing along with this, you assholes. You know, just like, well,
Right,
yeah,
right.
you're
And
not singing along with that. Fuck you.
it would be bad enough if it was like, English, which the majority of watchers are English, and the places they go to speak English or whatever. So if it was English, you could learn the words. But most people in
Yeah,
America
exactly.
don't know Japanese.
And he's like,
So
take
it's
this,
like,
you damn
yeah.
gaijins. And just like, bam.
It's like if you sing along to this, you can make some stuff up and then you're a racist. No. Oh shit. But yeah, no, you're right. But I mean, he still comes out doing his little spazzing around stuff, and
Just not
he's got a good interest,
just
man.
not as much as he did before, and not as much crowd interaction.
True,
Clearly,
true, true. He's got a good interest though, and I still
yeah.
say that you can make the argument that he had the entrance of the night at WrestleMania 34. So
Oh yeah.
because that entrance was like fucking ridiculous, and I
Mm-hmm.
loved every bit of it. Um,
Call the man an artist for
so
a reason.
exactly, and now they call him the rock star and the artist, right? Well, they've been calling him both. So Shinsuke and Rusev Day, because as much as everybody yells Rusev Day and cheers for Rusev, they are trying to make this man a heel. Shinsuke and Rusev Day ends up beating up AJ in the club, and they won because Shinsuke ends up winning, and then Shinsuke, like I said, low blow and Kinshasa to everybody.
Yeah.
You get a Kinshasa. You get a Kinshasa. You get a Kinshasa.
Yeah, AJ. Well, AJ tried to. He was gonna Kinshasa AJ, and Carl Anderson got in the way. Like took the
He
shot
took
for him.
one, and then I saw a little bit of that, and then Shinsuke was like, "All right, where was I?" And then he Kinshasa AJ. So I mean, yeah, it was a good Raw. It was a good SmackDown. Um, like I said, as far as for go home for a big event, not bad. It is very interesting though when you have half of the roster not at said event, and you still have to make them show face and look good for an event coming up. That's very very interesting how you have to do things. So it wasn't bad, but they did somewhat, you know, book themselves weird as
Mm-hmm.
far as how they can carry on said events. All right, everybody. So I appreciate you all for listening. Like I said, thank you for listening. All of my armchair bookers.
Is
That's
that
what I'm
what
gonna
we're
call our
calling?
fans.
That's what they are. Armchair bookers. I'm okay with that.
Because I mean,
It's like an
because that's
armchair
what we are.
quarterback. I get it.
Exactly, exactly. It's like we have all the answers sitting here in our fucking chairs watching this bitch. So thanks for listening to our armchair bookers. I appreciate y'all listening. If you want to see our predictions and everything, that'll be in a separate video. Go ahead and click that link. We're gonna have our predictions for the Greatest Royal Rumble coming up. One of the let's say not ambitious, but most interesting pay-per-views that WWE has done in a while. So that being said, as always, like I said, appreciate you all listening. And if you need to make an audible, you can always call it in the ring.
Indeed. Adios, this.